Like everybody else, I take lots of photos with my phone, and also I use social media apps just like everybody else. Facebook is my app of choice, and quite often when I use Facebook, I do come across images that I really like, and let's say this one for example, and when I do, I tap them and save them to phone. So over time I develop quite a collection of these images, and I need a way of transferring them to my Dwell. Now, in order to do this, I can upload these images one by one through Dwell's upload image functionality. However, when you've got lots of images, it's not convenient at all. For these purposes, I've researched and installed an application called Project Camera Upload on Android. And you can see this app here. What it does, it just goes through your image albums and looks at photos and images that have not been transferred yet. If you can see the white icons at the bottom right corner, the full ones indicate that the image has been already transferred up to the FTP directory of my Dwell. And now I have an opportunity to actually tap these, several of them actually at the same time, and send them to the site. As you can see here, it says upload to files binder inbox, and this directory is a dedicated FTP directory in your Dwell. You can upload any images and binder will look in that directory and import anything that it finds there. So right now I'll just click save, and you will see that it's uploading, and it takes not long at all. It actually does a very quick job of uploading them. There you go, it's done. So that same way I will upload all of these images later on. So Project Camera Upload is for Android. There are similar utilities for iPhone. I will post links to these applications below the video, and you may do your own research and find your own applications, but I use Android one. It works really well, and in the second part of this video I'll show you how I process them once they have been uploaded into the inbox. The binder checks the inbox directory to which we've uploaded our images, and right here on the toolbar it shows us that there are 7 images sitting there. It checks in 2 ways. First is every time we enter the binder it performs the check, but there's also a background process that runs through the daemon in the administration page, which on hourly basis checks the directory. At the moment it simply checked the number of files sitting in the inbox directory, and we have an opportunity to manually import them by clicking this button here, and you'll see that it doesn't take long at all for these 7 images to be imported into the inbox tab here. This is for later processing. Basically we'll be looking at these images and saying where are we saving them. And also there's an opportunity to trim the images a little bit, like this one for example has some writing at the bottom which I don't particularly like. So what I'll do, I'll just crop it out, there you go, and save. So that image is now more acceptable to me. I can also provide a description. Nice sea landscape or whatever, and it'll be here. So as you import images or photos or whatever, you have the opportunity to provide a tag or some description, so when later on you can see what those were about. So once we've processed these images, we now have an opportunity to store them in the relevant clips. We'll group them by theme. So there's a couple of landscapes here. I'll say these are landscapes, and we'll tick the tick boxes in order to apply the same action to all 3. So I ticked 3 images, and now I'm going to click an edit button for one of them. I'll just say Carl, there's Carl's collection, unstapled, or I can create a staple here, just say landscapes. I'll save that, and these 3 images are now stored. I'll show you there. Landscapes, there are 3 here. Here they are. What happened here is the description that we had on the main image got applied to all 3. this isn't quite right, so we have an opportunity to just change the descriptions there. So the same thing happens with these three. We'll just select these and say from Facebook for Susan, selecting images, saved from Facebook, nature and beauty, save. That's pretty much how you handle multiple image uploads.